31. TCAS 2 gives resolution advisory in vertical plane only, horizontal plane only, both vertical and horizontal planes, none of the above. So TCAS 2 is a more advanced version of TCAS 1. It is able to give traffic advisory and a resolution advisory. Now the resolution advisory provided by a TCAS will be restricted to vertical plane only, meaning you will only get fly or descent commands. You won't get any left turn commands, right turn commands, etc. Right? So TCAS 2 gives resolution advisory in vertical plane only. So horizontal plane wrong, both vertical horizontal also wrong. TCAS resolution advisory is indicated by a red color square. Next. TCAS 2 display may be provided on dedicated PPI, that is planned position indicator, yes. Weather radar display, yes. Sometimes the weather radar display will incorporate weather information as well as this TCAS information. If it's display electronic flight instrument system, yes. So the correct answer is any of the above depending on aircraft type, Delta. TCAS 2 fitted with mode C transponder only can provide what? So TCAS 2. So TCAS 2 is able to provide traffic advisory, which originates from mode A capability transponder, and a resolution advisory thanks to mode C capability transponder. So mode A gives enables traffic advisories. Mode C enables resolution advisories. How? Mode C capability transponder will provide relative altitude information. Like mode C transponder will give the pressure altitude information of conflicting traffic. Your transponder, mode C transponder, will give pressure altitude of your aircraft. So both will be compared, and finally a relative altitude will be determined. So relative altitude means the altitude separation between your aircraft and the conflicting aircraft. So maybe that conflicting traffic is at the same level as yours. So the relative altitude between both of you will be zero. If that aircraft is 500 feet above you, the relative altitude will be 500 feet plus 500 feet. If that aircraft is 500 feet below you, relative altitude will be minus 500 feet, right? So that is possible only when you have, or only when there is mode C capable transponder, right? So mode C transponder only can provide resolution advisory, TA, vertical TA and RA, horizontal TA and RA. So correct answer is vertical traffic advisory and resolution advisory. When you know the relative altitude between your aircraft and the conflicting traffic, resolution advisory will be in accordance with that. If the conflicting traffic is 500 feet above you, the resolution advisory will be descend. If that traffic is 500 feet below you, you will get a resolution advisory of a climb, right? So resolution advisories are proportional to, or depend or get influenced by relative altitude. 35. Other traffic not constituting a threat is indicated by dash. So approximate traffic will be indicated by a solid diamond. Approximate traffic be indicated by this solid diamond. A hollow diamond indicates other traffic. Now, proximate traffic means any traffic which is within 6 nautical mile range of your aircraft and plus minus 1200 feet above you, below you. Other traffic means any traffic which is within the range of your display and plus minus 2700 feet above you, below you, respectively. Okay, so it's not at all a threat to you, but the information is provided to increase your situational awareness. Corrective actions given by TCAS include, so you do not get any resolution advisory or corrective actions in horizontal plane. So option 1 will be wrong. You get all resolution advisories which are limited to vertical plane. So climb, descent, yes. Increase rate of descent, rate of climb, yes. Stop climb, stop descent, yes. Monitor vertical speed. Now monitor vertical speed is a resolution advisory, but it is a preventative advisory, preventative resolution advisory. It's not corrective resolution advisories are descent, climb, increase rate of descent or climb, stop climb or stop descent. The correct statements are statement 2, statement 3 and statement 4. 5 and 6 are wrong. Next. How should a pilot respond to TCAS resolution advisory? So as soon as a resolution advisory is provided or is given to you, the pilot flying the aircraft will have to act immediately on that resolution advisory. If it says to climb, add power, pitch up, trim, okay. It says it gives a command of descend, so power back, pitch down attitude, trim your aircraft, start descending, right? So, visually identify the intruder to before taking corrective action. No, you do not have that much time of visually checking outside and then performing a maneuver. The pilot monitoring aircraft will do that while the pilot flying performs that resolution advisory or performs that maneuver. But first visual scan and then the maneuver, that is not the case. Both must happen simultaneously. So the jobs are divided. Okay, gets divided between the pilot monitoring and pilot flying. Disengage the autopilot immediately. Comply with climb and descent commands in a smooth manner. Yes, very right. Disengage the autopilot and fly manually, but make sure all your transitions are performed smoothly without imposing any excessive G loads on your aircraft structure. Contact ATC before maneuvering? No, you will contact the pilot monitoring will contact ATC once you have performed that resolution advisory. You have checked outside for the traffic, and when time permits, when it's possible, the pilot monitoring will contact ATC and inform that ATC controller of the resolution advisory you received and the maneuver that you performed in response to that resolution advisory. Allow autopilot to follow TCAS commands. Advise ATC of situation as soon as it is safe to do so. Wrong. Your autopilot will not follow that TCAS commands. You have to manually execute them. So bravo. How should a pilot respond to a TCAS traffic advisory? Now, whenever you get a traffic advisory, it's not a dangerous situation, it's a cautionary situation. Traffic advisories are nothing but cautions, alerts that draw your attention to a particular situation, to a particular to a particular traffic around you in your vicinity that can become dangerous, that can become a threat to safety, right? So whenever traffic advisories are issued, the pilot monitoring will start visually scanning outside. He will spot the aircraft. He will look at the relative bearing in his TCAS display. If it says 2 o'clock, so look in the 2 o'clock direction. See where that aircraft is. If that aircraft is 200 feet below, you will visually scan for the airspace below you. Okay. So that is what you do. So primarily visual scanning, and at the same time, the pilot flying his aircraft will remain ready, will prepare himself for uh, for a resolution advisory. Okay, so he will mentally, physically prepare himself if there is a chance of getting a resolution advisory if that traffic comes very close to you. Okay, so how should a pilot respond to a TA? Visually identify the intruder to before taking corrective action. Wrong. Traffic advisory. Whenever you get traffic advisory, you only visually scan for other traffic. Traffic advisory doesn't allow you, permit you to perform a corrective actions. Corrective actions are only performed upon receiving resolution advisories. Disengage the autopilot immediately, comply with climb and descent. Wrong. Contact ATC before maneuvering. Wrong. Allow autopilot to follow TCAS commands and advise ATC of situation as soon as it is safe to do so. Wrong. So correct answer will be actually option A. So what it means is you will start visually scanning for the intruder, and once you get a resolution advisory, you perform that corrective action. So option A is the safest or the most appropriate answer here. But disengaging the autopilot is not required. Contacting ATC before maneuvering is not required because when you get a traffic advisory, you don't maneuver your aircraft. Allow autopilot to follow TCAS commands? No. So option A. What corrective action is given by TCAS? So they are talking about corrective action. There are two types of actions, preventative and corrective. Preventative asks you to monitor your vertical speed, to maintain your vertical speed within a specific band or range. So it's up to you, but stay within that band. A corrective action will require you to perform a specific maneuver instantly. Okay. So contact ATC never. Climbing or descending right turn, left turn, no. The corrective actions are limited to vertical plane only. You won't get any resolution advisory or corrective action in horizontal plane. Climb or descend, yes, it's restricted to vertical plane, right? Question 40. What does the TCAS indication in red mean? So let's diagram. Here is a picture. So red square means a resolution advisory. Now here, the arrow. The meaning of this arrow is that the conflicting traffic, the traffic in your vicinity is climbing at a rate of climb which is more than 500 feet per minute. Okay, so that arrow, the upward arrow, the up arrow shows the trend of that conflicting traffic, the trend. Minus 300 means that conflicting traffic is 300 feet, 300 feet below you. Okay, it is 300 feet below you, and now it has started climbing. Okay, and it's soon going to reach your level, and then maybe it will cross you and go to a higher level. So that is the meaning of that. Okay, so 300 feet below you. So the correct answer here is aircraft is 300 feet below, 300 feet above, that is wrong. 300 feet below, yes. Climbing at 50 feet per minute or more, wrong. Correct answer is option alpha. An aircraft which is 300 feet below is climbing at 500 feet per minute or more. So 500 feet per minute or more, equal to 500 or more than that. Pay attention to this keyword. So 40A. That's it. So this concludes the lecture. I hope you have understood this simple 10 questions. Very short lecture, but these questions are very important, especially for your ATPL exam and ATPL exam written Viva and your airline written exam and interview. Okay, because this TCAS is a very important topic when you go for your type rating. There will be exercise that involve this TCAS procedures, TCAS exercises. So you will have to perform, you will get these exercises in your regular sim sessions, simulator sessions, as well as in your final check ride session. So it's very important to have theoretical knowledge, understand how it works in the practical world, and therefore it's very important that you solve all Keith William TCAS questions and Oxford TCAS questions as well. Best of luck. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Press the like button if you have liked this video lecture. Share this particular video lecture with all your friends. And if you have any doubts, comments, feedback, let me know in the comment box of this video lecture. See you.